Alright. This video is going to be about porn and video games. Yeah, two topics I definitely have strong views on and experience. Played competitive Halo growing up. I was 17. Love games. Definitely at one point it was my biggest addiction. Porn was one of those things that was just like, I'm 35 now, so I grew up, when you couldn't, I barely, out of high school, could see, high-speed internet and pop on. I still had to download it, though. You couldn't just go on websites and just stream it. So it was still, hard to get your hands on it. But I think these are the two most detrimental things to men in today's society. No question in my mind, because they're silent killers. They're everything you need. As a man, the video game acts as a way to, slay the dragon, win the girl, and then you win the girl. Hold on, I think I forgot. No, you win the girl, right? You won the level, you got the upgrades, and then now you get to go jerk off on Pornhub, and that's the reward, and that is absolutely, and it's one of those things that's legal and it's socially acceptable. I mean, video games definitely are. It's a huge part of society today, and I think we're getting to we've already crossed the crossroads. We've gotten to the crossroads years ago where you had Twitch to that. You can lose your life to the pipe dream of being the next ninja, and it's that's. I grew up playing games with that guy, and he did it. It's good for him. It's the dream. You having fun for a living and a good living, and he did it. It's a numbers game. You can really, and this is where delusion comes in. This is a thing for me on Twitch. You can get to a point where and a lot of people do it. You go, I'm streaming, therefore I'm justified in playing all day. It's you're not doing shit. You're wasting more electricity. You're justifying, growth. It's so hard to grow on Twitch. You gotta be really careful. I mean, you'll wake up and be in your 30s like me. I mean, I've had a lot of it. Personally, my biggest regrets are streaming on Twitch and maybe playing a little bit too much. But before that, competitive gaming was you got to go to a tournament. And I would never take those memories back. I was 17, taking Greyhound buses, taking flights all over the country, playing competitive Halo. I mean, that's an experience. That's different. That is not a thing anymore. There's tournaments, but it's just not the same. There's so much socializing. It wasn't as serious. There wasn't people spending as much time, practicing, because it was all the youth, before it became a thing. And no pun intended, but I think the halo effect of gaming and Twitch, i.e., you see these guys making all this money, and you go, well, I play video games, and it's just like this. You go, well, I want to do what they do, and it's really just I think it's really important to think about what am I adding, what value am I adding to society. It's great, and it'd be a great job, and be, it's a dream job, right? But here's the thing, and here's the kicker. This is where I think some people wake up. They go, hey, I'm in my 30s now. I'm a pro gamer, and it's you're making, let's say 6 figures on the high end. Some people can make, you're making a good amount of money. You're making enough money. Let's say 50 grand a year, 50 grand to 100K a year. You're making good enough money where you cannot stop now. That is now, you're reliant on that income stream, and now your lifestyle is in part, all that dedication. It wasn't easy. You spent all that time, and now you got an audience, and it's you got to keep up that audience. You got to keep doing it. And man, that can be pretty bad. That can be worse than never making it. You're now inside gaming, and it's not gonna last forever. And who are you helping? It's a great, and that's the thing. You can become delusional, these ideas of what you want to do, and it's there's a lot of that nowadays. There's a lot of people think they're gonna live forever. I think it's a derivative of cowardice. I think, and you can fear life and putting yourself out there so much and saying the wrong thing and doing the wrong thing and being different so much that you become small and will then do what everyone else is doing. You will, and I think that's a trap. That's a social trap, and we have a lot of them now. That between porn, video games, and different things that it's not going to last forever. You're going to wake up someday, and it's going to be a lot harder to create a new path. I mean, I think having a plan B is cowardly, and it takes away from plan A. That's very true, and I think to a certain extent I've done that my whole life. But to get back on topic about cowardice and fear of standing out, it's ultimately it's like how do I say this? I'm kind of like having a hard time expressing this. Inaction and fear ultimately are useless, because often it's people. You care about what people think. You care about looking stupid. All this shit that we've created in a comfortable society has now just like created this paradox, and you're gonna fucking die. Every day that's it. That's one day closer to your grave, and you really want to be sitting there in your 50s, out of shape, fucking no testosterone. You've been playing video games and doing the porn thing, and it's like, wow, that is, to me, is the scariest thing, and it really, people need to talk about it more, and it needs to scare the shit out of you, because it's real, and no one's gonna save you from this thing we call life. You're all in, and you better know what you're doing. You better have a plan, because that stuff will suck your time. That will suck the life out of you, and I think we're only scratching the surface. We need to, people. I don't know how there isn't, like, maybe there's some, but it's not like a huge thing people are talking about is like these safe, what do you call them, fail safes, or these wedges, or these things in society to keep people from going too far, like with the addiction for things that we just go, it's legal and it's fine. It's like, and not only legal, it's socially acceptable. It's like, no, there's safeguards is the word I was looking for. There's no safeguards. There's no, like, more education about, like, how this affects your mind, how much, like, how bad it is for the youth. There's not a lot out there about it. So the point of this video is basically just, you gotta keep it in check. It's so easy, just like any addiction, to find a million justifications. Like, I had a tough day today. I just play a couple hours of video games and it's relaxing. It's like, okay, yeah, but you can relax. It's an escape. And I think there's, it's not black and white. It's not all or nothing. There, yeah, you can play some hours, but I think this is when it gets really creepy, is the gamification. And this has been going on for over a decade now. I've slowly seen it just get more and more pronounced in games, and now to the points in every game that I've seen, it's the dopamine reward circuit. Just like jackpots, someone leaked it, or maybe it was just public, but they're hiring these people that are professional gambling marketing people. Like they work for casinos, and they've been hired by the video game companies to hijack that same part of the reward center of your brain to keep you coming back. Like that is not. I don't care what anyone says. That's not relaxing. That's not gonna make you feel fulfilled. That's literally, you're a slave to your dopamine. They are hijacking your brain, and there's nothing. You're not experiencing anyone's art. You know, there's these games in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was literally art. They had to make games that were difficult, and you know, the what do you call it? Inspiration. The innovation was based off of like multiplayer, getting people to play together, creating, you know, making a more difficult game, making a game that, you know, had beauty in it, beautiful soundtrack, spending years make a piece of art that you got to experience, and it was like therapeutic, and I think about Halo 2. It's just pure art, and it was so connective, and it was absolutely perfect. And there's plenty of games like that from back then, and now it's yeah, you gotta keep an eye on it. It's gonna be Ready Player One here in no time, and I'm not gonna be a part of that. VR scares the crap out of me. It always has. I've lost myself in those worlds before without having VR, so I refuse to use it. And it's gonna be a even greater struggle of one's psyche, I believe, to stay sane. And like, it's like Inception. You're gonna have to know, are you in the Matrix? Or are you in the real world? And as I pull into my garage, that's probably a good place to stop. But, yep. Video games and porn. Keep it in check, boys. Stay strong out there.